All right, I want to get more insight on this now with Polar Capital's very own Ben Rogoff. Ben, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming in. So, International Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. You must be very excited. What's sexy at the show?
Well, good and bad news is that it's the sort of same old stuff, but the same new stuff, I should say. It's tablets, it's smartphones, and to a lesser degree, it's connected devices such as television sets. Obviously, quite a following of this event. Having said that, of course, the company that really drives this market, the consumer-facing side of tech, isn't there. Apple.
We are seeing an explosion of tablet computers. I know you said there are a number of things people are excited about, but I just want to ask you about tablet computers because everyone really wants a slice of the tablet pie.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's going to be a massive opportunity for anyone who can, really take a commanding share. And obviously, Apple has a lead, a very significant lead, obviously, given that they were the only real vendor out last year. And this is the year where the Android camp does its best to catch up with the Apple environment. And based on the kind of sneak previews we're getting from what's coming the next few days, it looks like they're making quite an advance.
And what about Microsoft? It wants to compete with Apple and Google when it comes to the web TV craze. Are they a bit late to the game? I
think Microsoft has been kind of caught short, really. I think that they'll continue to have a very dominant position inside the enterprise, but from a consumer perspective, I think what's fascinating about what tablets have done is that they've eliminated one of the key props to the Intel and Microsoft franchises, which is the need for backward compatibility. When I buy a tablet from Apple, I don't really care if my Windows Microsoft Office doesn't work on that device. And so I think they're playing catch-up. Yesterday, the biggest announcement, I think, of the show so far is going to be that they're going to port their Windows operating system, the new one, Windows 8, to the ARM architecture, which is a very big deal.
And competition in tablets, I guess, a good thing for the consumer because it drives prices down?
Well, yes, as long as they work as well as the ones that are already out there and that they're at price points that are superior. I mean, from where I'm sat, I'm an iPad owner, and to be honest, that they have set out a price point. People will have to come inside of that, and I'm sure there's a market that's big enough for Android and Apple iOS, but Apple remains in the driving seat.
Where are we going with this, Ben, in your opinion? Internet TV, are we going to end up with some sort of huge iPad-like screen on our walls?
Possibly. I mean, clearly, but if you go back to the 90s, people talked, myself included, talked about the idea of a connected home, how you would bring in media content from various different devices, enabled by Wi-Fi. And of course, 10 years on, the industry begins to deliver on the stuff that it should have been delivering on a decade ago. It's possible. I mean, over-the-top broadcasting is a very big deal. Some of the devices that are being launched at CES this week, things like wireless HDMI. We're going to see 3D TV without glasses, which will make it kind of accessible to most people. I think that it's a very exciting time to be involved in tech again because of these new technologies, or I should say, old technologies that are finally coming to fruition that are really creating some latency. I mean, you look at the Intels and Microsoft who have spent a decade building out these businesses, and yet they do look somewhat troubled by these new themes.
Yet, who is in the best position to loosen Apple's grip?
Oh, great question. I think the answer would probably be Google on the operating system side with Android, with mobile search. I think obviously people are looking at companies like Facebook, and you've seen the news this week about the valuation that Goldman Sachs and others have ascribed to that business. People have great hopes for what Facebook could do. I'm a little bit more sceptical on that front. I think it's too early to say who can loosen the grip, but what I would say is that this time with Android is a very different opportunity or a different situation to where we were with iPods and Apple, where each of the vendors went head-to-head with Apple itself and obviously lost. This time round, all the various vendors are kind of coalescing around Android, and I think they've got a much better shot at stealing some of that market share back from Apple.
Ben, good to talk to you. Ben Rogoff from Polar Capital. Thanks for coming in.